Hey, Ed.
Hey.
The queen has opened the reef.
Oh God, what does that even mean? What does any of this mean?
Okay, so she's the queen of the Awoken, which is a race of, I believe, humans who tried to leave Earth, and they live in the reef now, and they got mutated by the horrors of space. I think
I'm hearing words, but they don't mean anything. I asked you to explain it to me, and you just kept saying more nonsense.
This is House of Wolves, the newest second expansion for Destiny.
Oh God, why am I here?
Because no one else is.
Oh God.
And I need you. This right here is second expansion. I think it's way better than the first expansion. The first expansion was pretty disappointing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it was.
The way they handled, they really fucked up the handling of upgrading old items, like your exotics. We're like, okay, so you can at least understand this. I know you're being you're sarcastically agreeing with me right now, but you can understand.
No, I can. I can. As much as it means nothing to me.
Imagine you collected all of this really sweet, awesome loot. You spent a lot of time.
Okay.
And then the expansion comes out and says, hey, all that loot now is, in theory, needs to be upgraded. But to upgrade it, you have to spend a lot of time farming and getting this material to upgrade it.
Well, I would be pretty pissed.
Yeah, exactly. So they've avoided that now, where everything can be way more easily upgraded. I'll show that off in a sec. We still... Hey, guess what? Loading time's still a thing. Actually, I could probably show it off.
At least it's
in the menu.
Pretty loading time.
This is my hunter, if they load.
This is a nice looking hunter.
So here is my one of my exotics. If I am to look at it, well, never mind. If I was to look at it here, so if I want to permanently upgrade its defense to the max amount, they added this thing now called Ascend, which is increase the defense value to the highest available in year 1, which is what they're calling this for Destiny. It's like this is year 1 of Destiny.
Okay.
So I can upgrade it to the max amount, and you can do that for all exotics and all legendaries. Because anything lower than a legendary doesn't matter. You're like, it's a rare, who cares? Scrap it immediately. It doesn't matter. So this right here is the Reef, which is the brand new open world hub. You can kind of go to. Like the tower, you got your postmaster, you got the bounty guy. That's all the same, so you don't need to go back between them as much, which is a pain because the loading times are awful. You got the vault, stuff like that. We have this lady here. I've already beaten the story with this character, but we're going to go back and do a couple missions. She's the one who kind of gives you the missions. She has a faction rep called Queen's Wrath, which is an old faction rep that they temporarily had. They brought back. I'm sure you know what all this means.
God.
She has her own special bounties you can get from her. You can get some emblems, some stuff, some sweet shaders. I want these shaders.
I feel like I now
check out these sweet color palettes.
I now understand how everyone else feels when I talk about comics.
Right? Okay, here's what I really want though. I want this. Yeah.
Okay, a ship. What do ships do? What's the point of having a ship?
Purely looks, but it looks freaking cool.
Okay.
Right. All right. So I'm gonna get that. Oh, fun fact: they added a new weapon type called sidearms, which is a special weapon, so it's in the secondary slot. It's pretty good. It's like a pistol. It has like rapid fire, holds 15 shots. Really, really good. And they're especially really good against Fallen, which are the enemy types that House of Wolves is all about. So we got her. We got this guy over here, who I love his voice. I think
that is a cool looking dude.
He's a cool looking dude with a cool voice. He has his own faction called House of Judgment, which is related to the Prison of Elders, which I haven't done yet. So maybe we can just run into that and fail horribly. That is the new endgame cooperative. It's like a wave-based cooperative thing. Your horde modes, if you will, I believe. It's sort of meant to satiate the fact that there is no raid in this one, because Bungie's still working on a raid apparently. Whether that means they'll actually release it for free or you have to pay for it, I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
Which is a bummer though, because I get why they didn't put it in, because like I don't want them to just rush out an inferior thing, but it's also a bummer because the raids are the best parts.
Yeah, I feel like if this is the style of game that you choose to, like, a very kind of MMO-esque, raids, and that you need to be releasing that content.
Yeah. Like, nothing happens here, but there's certain this kind of half of the place doesn't have much going on, which makes me think they're going to maybe populate with more stuff over time. Here's another interesting one. This one's actually kind of cool. It's called Disciples of Osiris. There's this thing called Trials of Osiris, which is a new multiplayer mode. That's really hardcore. You play it, and you gain access to this week's Trials of Osiris. It's a weekly thing. Teams of 3 compete until they win 9 matches, lose 3 matches, or until the weekend's tournament ends. How many matches you win determines stuff you can buy. So the best of the best get the better gear. So there's sort of like, you want to get like a good team going. Then you have these little things that can kind of help you out, like you'll just automatically get a win, or you'll be forgiven a loss, stuff like that. Again, haven't tried it yet, but it's a cool concept. Although I imagine if you're not that much into the multiplayer, you probably won't care about it.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things about the competitive multiplayer
but this
side of
is
the
the
game.
gear you get there. You can only get there, so it is like, hey, if you want this particular gear, you gotta do that.
I guess the big thing that's kept me from caring about Destiny, other than the fact that I don't have an next-gen console, is just like I've never been very big on loot-based games. I mean, I like Diablo mostly because of the aesthetics, and I'm just Diablo fan. I like the gameplay, but I've never been really a big fan of the kind of the circular logic of, you play the game for the sake of getting new gear. You get new gear so you can keep playing the game, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it, but that's kind of like, when I think about a game like this, that's the circle that comes to my mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nothing really. I like a good story that kind of pulls me in. I feel like Destiny, while there is a story, it's mostly that once you're done with that, it's mostly just playing for the sake of getting gear, so in which that you can keep playing.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's enough for me to keep playing it.
I gotta be real honest. I'm sure that you have a very healthy relationship with this game, but every single person that I've ever heard talk about this game has had the same almost drug addict like reaction of like, yeah, man, I has a ton of problems. I don't really. It's kind of okay, but I put like 500 hours into it. Like, I've never seen so many people kind of collectively agree, yeah, there's a lot of issues with it, I don't really like it, but I'm playing it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I just want to be like, you can blink twice. Is Bungie watching you right now?
I'm going to try this one. So, this one actually has more story to it, where you got this guy named Scalaris, who is the head of the House of Wolves. Mm-hmm. The House of the Wolves was run by the Queen. There used to be, I guess there was like a war between the Fallen and the Awoken.
And the Queen
won, and she gave them mercy and was like, you can chill with me.
And the Queen runs a group of humans who mutated.
Yeah, I think that's what the Awoken.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the House of Wolves eventually betrayed her, and there's this guy named Skolas, who is kind of running the House of Wolves, and he is trying to get all of the other fallen houses to fall under his banner so that he can just like kill everyone. Mm-hmm. And he's calling himself like the Kel of Kells, and like Kel are like the leaders of each house, and so he's kind of like
the King of Kings.
Yeah, and they kind of imply like that he's like he's kind of going a little nuts, you know. So right now he's trying to get the House of Kings. So this right here, my new gun.
I have to give it credit, though. The gameplay has always looked very solid.
It is, and that's what keeps me playing. There's a lot of dialogue in this. Again, a lot of implied story where they talk about, like, the Reef Wars, but there's no, like, codec you can, like, what's the Reef War about? Which I kind of wish there was. But I think they definitely do a better... It's clear Bungie's listening and is trying to incorporate more story. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of the sidearm. Something about it, it's like fast and it does a lot of damage. It's pretty satisfying.
Does this have regenerating health?
What? This game? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
all these weapons I'm rocking are new right now that I got. Alright. Oh, one cool thing that this is something you're not gonna really care about. If you go to like these boots, right?
I think we're past that point.
Probably. Here, you look like there's a lot of different, you know, you kind of, it's like, okay, you got to upgrade the defense and this and that, and you know, the only, like, that just upgrades your defense, and this is like the actual, you know, oh, it increases your hand cannon ammo.
Yeah.
So they've kind of simplified it now. All the new armors get rid of the defense stuff, because the defense stuff is all just done in the Ascend, and now it's just this. So it simplifies you having your upgrade path for armor, which I find is really nice. It seems like they kind of do that, and most of the weapons I found are definitely of a smaller... oh, they've also added a new thing where you can reforge stuff. So if you want to keep your gun, but you're like, I want different perks, you can reforge and you'll get like a new set of random perks. It is random though.
Okay.
So you're kind of like, you can like roll the dice to try and get something better. Let's see here. Yeah, I really like this guy. He's a cool dude. I mean, this game has like potentially interesting characters. They just don't utilize them enough. For example, the Vanguard for the Hunter on the tower is like this robot guy voiced by Nathan Fillion, and he doesn't do that much, but occasionally he talks, and he gets like his dialogue kind of implies he's like, you know, he has to sort of stay at the tower, but he wants to like go out and do stuff. So one time when I like clicked out of him, he just goes, hey, take me with you. And I'm just like, see, I want more of that. I want, like, he should be like a full character.
Yeah.
I need like cutscenes and dialogue, and I need like characters talking to each other. They have like potentially interesting stuff happening. I'm very curious how Destiny 2 will play out, because that's really their chance to actually like really do more stuff.
Do we know when Destiny 2 is going to get, like...
So here's how it works. Destiny 1 came out last year.
Yes.
We have 2 expansions have come out now. Supposedly there's still 2 more expansions going to happen. One's Vex themed, the other one's assumably the Cabal, which is the 4th faction, which is horribly underutilized in the game. They only show up in the last planet, and they barely have anything to do with anything. And then we're going to get what's called a Comet this September. Which is, like, the idea is that's a larger expansion. Like a more proper World of Warcraft-ish expansion. Not like, this is kind of more like DLC, kind of, like...
It's extra maps.
Yeah. Extra maps. It's got story, but it's got, like, 4 story missions. The Comet's supposed to have, like, 12 story missions and, like, a ton of... You know, it's supposed to have a lot of new stuff. And that's going to be this fall. And then Destiny 2 comes out next year. So it's supposed to be, like, every 2 years the big game comes out, and in between... you have like a Comet and some expansions, is how it's supposed to work. The issue with that obviously is that's a lot of money.
That's an expensive. I mean, how much is each expansion?
Each expansion on their own is 20.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a
Comet's supposed to be 40, supposedly.
And my understanding is that to really get the most out of this game, you really need to buy the expansion. I'm sure you don't have to, but
the expansion definitely. Well, okay, so for you, if you do not buy this expansion, you still get access to the Reef. You still get access to the Ascend. Like the changes they've made, like the upgrading path, some of the weapons you can get. All of that still shows up even if you didn't buy the expansion, which is nice.
Yeah.
But you don't obviously get access to the story missions. You don't get access to Trials of Osiris or you know. Or Prison of Elders, stuff like that. But it does give you at least. It's not like you're just sitting there in vanilla, you know, with no changes whatsoever.
Still, though, that's just an expensive game.
And I'm trying to figure out, like, is that?
Of course, I mean,
it's not a good value proposition, but I feel like if you're the kind of person who this is the main game you play, you don't buy that many other games.
Yeah.
I think that'd probably be fine for those people.
If you're like, I know, you've always seen those people who like have an Xbox 360 and the only games they have are Call of Duty and Madden.
Sure.
And that's just kind of, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just
like, I know a lot of people who don't really play video games, but they'll play World of Warcraft all the time.
Yeah.
And they play those expansions. So for them, you know, they're fine buying that stuff because that's all they really play.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're that kind of person, that's fine. I think it's still maybe a bad deal proposition-wise. I think 20... Even, okay, this is better than the Dark Below.
Yes.
Dark Below was not worth the price.
I heard a lot of issues with Dark Below.
I still don't know if this is worth $20. Probably not. But it is definitely better. Like, they are definitely getting more in the right direction.
My philosophy of DLC, ignoring expansion packs,
Sure.
My philosophy of DLC has always been, it not only matters what's in it, but how they present it to you.
Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more than DLC, even if it's a good value, being presented to me in a way that makes me feel like I'm missing something from the game without it. Like, I'm being hindered from a full gameplay which is why I don't like when you enter a game and the first thing you see is like the store page saying, "Buy Goro right now."
Sure.
Like,
but at least on Destiny's front, they didn't upfront that stuff.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you need to have stuff that feels comparable for a game like Destiny, because if like you put out an expansion that's like, well, you don't really need this doesn't actually really add anything that's like super valuable, why would anyone buy it? And Destiny people just be disappointed. And I do like that at least it is not like, well, you don't get any of the upgrade stuff. It's like you can still visit the league.
you get something.
You still get, you know, like you can still get the sidearms. You know, a lot of the gear is in the rotation now. Like you still get that stuff. You just don't get the particular missions and stuff. And then that is like, are these missions valuable to you? Do you like the story missions? You know, but you know, like the strike is pretty cool. I haven't tried Prison of Elders.
But I mean,
stuff,
is it worth $20 for a couple of mess story missions and a good strike?
Well, it also has Prison of Elders and other stuff. Maybe. It depends on how you play this game. And I think these story missions are definitely better than most of the story missions in the game. Not that I think they're still like amazing, but
Where's Tyrion Lannister?
Where's Tyrion Lannister? He doesn't talk in this.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And it's really a bummer because they're like, your ghost is picking this up. I'm like, why doesn't he tell me himself? Oh, because they couldn't hire him.
He's too busy being Tyrion Lannister.
Which just confirms my, you know, worry that it was a horrible mistake for them to get Peter Dinklage to voice Ghost, because Ghost is a major character who you'd want to talk more.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And he doesn't talk in either expansion at all, because it's like we couldn't get Peter Dinklage.
He's too busy now being like an A-list celebrity.
But even then, it's like you should have just gotten someone who is cheaper, who was, you know, gonna give more of a shit, and who you could get back for repeat stuff.
As much as I love Peter Dinklage, he always sounded like
he didn't care.
I am here for this paycheck.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I did hear that they put the wizard came from the mainline back
which is weird.
That's good.
I don't know what that means, but
I'm happy.
Okay with that.
I'm happy with it. I was very upset when I heard they took it out.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I think they should. Honestly, I think the smartest move they could do is say like, because if they don't have him in Comet, which Comet's supposed to be like, it actually like is supposed to be like,
it matters.
It's supposed to be a more significant expansion. Then it's like, what are you doing? They should just have a, hey, something happened to Ghost.
Oh,
he's a robot. His voice changed. Here's a new voice actor.
He got an upgrade,
right? And no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no one's going to be like, oh, man. It's going to be like, oh, good. You got a different voice actor who will actually show up at the recording booth more often, and you can have in the game better.
They should get one of the many voice actors, not many voice actors, one of the many actors who've been killed off Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing anything anymore.
No. Certainly not.
Get Sean Bean.
Yeah. Sean Bean did the voice. No, Sean Bean's pretty prolific. He did a lot of stuff.
And then Ghost dies.
Ghost
has a horrible death.
Whatever. Do I get another one? I'm fine. They do add a couple new enemy types, like some of the shanks. There's like exploding shanks and stuff, which is kind of neat.
Oh, for a second it says Dreg. I was like only half watching, and I thought it said Doug.
Doug?
And I was like, oh,
it was Doug.
That's an interesting choice.
Just fighting Doug.
I would really appreciate if all the monsters had like really mundane names.
Bill.
Here's Jeff.
It's Jeff.
Jeff the Defiler.
Jeff Kell of Kells.
Stephen the Undying.
It was a good one. Was the Unwed was one of the names of a guy you fight in this game. It was pretty good. I was like, I've never heard that one before. I like that one. What do you have to do to get the title of the Unwed?
I think you have to play a lot of Destiny.
Well, is it just like you haven't been married, or is like they really tried and just
like he's not this? It's
not marriage compatible.
Not happening.
We tried
Listen,
really
all
hard.
we want him to do is to settle down with a nice girl, but it's just not going to happen.
I think I'm going. Am I going this way? Probably. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, I had to reload. That was bad. Bad timing on my part.
Always.
Hey guys, hold on a sec.
I just reload like every second. Like whenever there's not an enemy in front of me, I'm just like hitting the reload button. Ooh, that did not have many shots.
No, this is a heavy weapon ammo. So it doesn't have many shots, but it does a lot of damage. All right, let's get this guy.
I like the giant orbs.
Yeah, me too. I heard Comet's supposed to add a new subclass.
Ooh.
Yeah, like potentially some cool stuff. I don't think although I don't think if you ever were into Destiny, nothing about these expansions is ever gonna change your mind at all. I have no illusion of like, oh, they fixed Destiny, guys. Don't worry.
Destiny is a 10. Man, remember that summer that we just just every day at work we were just watching Destiny gameplay videos?
Because they look so good.
We were
game still looks pretty good.
We were into this game. Like we just watched the trailers over and over again.
And then Emilio was like, I could give less of a shit about this game.
Which continues my theory that there is something nefarious about this game. Because Matt was the same. Matt owned this game.
Yeah.
Was like, fuck this game is garbage, I'm selling it, and now he bought it again, and now he is just, man, guys, got any more of that, the House of Wolves, man? Can I get a little bit more?
Well, I could play House of Wolves with Matt. He didn't buy goddamn phone cases once a week.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we're gonna have an intervention for Matt, because Matt just keeps buying phone cases.
He bought an iPhone like 2 weeks ago, and he already has 3 cases for it.
I'm in my hand. I am holding my Galaxy S5.
Yes.
They're on the 6 now. I'm holding my S5. I have an OtterBox.
It's the one case.
And I have had this case.
I've not bought a new case.
I bought my phone. I then bought my case. My phone has not left my case. Matt he'll buy cases, and then he'll just like, I understand like the idea of like testing them out and like finding which one that you like. But man, he is. It's not like they all do the same thing. You buy a good quality one, your phone's not going to break.
Yeah, totally.
But he is. I think we have to do something for Matt.
Prison of Elders. So can I do Prison of Elders? Let's try it. I've never tried this.
Can we all write a letter being like, Matt, since your phone case addiction, it has affected me in the following ways.
One of them goes up to 35. The cap is 34, so
Ooh,
that must be pretty tough.
That is a high.
That is some tough shit right there. So let's try a 28. I've never tried this. I have no idea.
So where are we going?
It's called Prison of Elders, which is the glory and treasure awaits those who survive. It's a raid mode.
Okay. What? And then my other big issue is I'm not an MMO guy.
Yeah.
So some of the terminology just doesn't like.
Well, this is like a horde mode. It's an arena thing.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Horde mode. I understand.
Yes. Arena-based horde mode. This is arena thing. Yeah, I mean, for me, Destiny, like I played it and I enjoyed it, and then I was like, all right, I'm done, and I fell off. And then when Matt and Emilio got back into it, like something about it just like clicked again. Where I'm like, I'll play with you guys, and then like all of a sudden,
the amount of people
I was like, now I'm just really into it again.
The amount of people I have seen go from like I don't give a shit about this game to do we have to have a talk about the amount of time we're playing Destiny?
I was never that. I was never. I don't give a shit.
No, you like.
I was kind of middle of the road.
All I have to say is chemtrails, Illuminati. Grassy Knoll.
Hey, Bungie always talks about how they want to take over the world.
Hollow Earth.
All right, let's see this.
Where's
my other dudes? I'm supposed to have a matchmaking party. There's supposed to be 2 other guys with me.
This is the party. Have fun, kids.
What?
Kid.
It said matchmaking.
And it match made, and this is what you got.
Because when it did the circle thing, it's supposed to be like, here's your group.
Jean-Luc, there's...
Oh, here's another guy.
There's no one worthy of
Okay,
a
there
party
they are.
with
They
you.
just didn't show up in the thing.
Is he dancing? You can dance?
Or Beast of the Cabal. Wait, okay. So this is like in the reef, so I think these are gonna be like newish environments too. All right, guys. I hope you know what you're doing, because I don't.
I do like the aesthetics.
Yeah.
It does a very good job of like setting the stage.
Each place feels different.
It has like almost a theme park vibe.
Welcome to Prison of Elders.
Yeah, like I don't know if you've ever been to a like your Universal Studios or Disneyland's.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang around with these guys. Oh, there's little mines that pop up. Okay, so we're fighting Cabal here.
My favorite part about Universal Studios was they just can't have a roller coaster. They always have to have like a narration before the ride begins. It's like,
oh, it's like the
Bruce Banner was irradiated by gamma rays, and now he becomes a Hulk.
I always like the ones with like there's like an animatronic robot.
Oh man, the Harry Potter ride where it's
got
holograms.
The holograms.
I
the
love
Harry Potter
holograms.
Kids. Yeah, that's good.
My favorite ride was they have a teacup ride. But it's X-Men themed because it's in the Marvel area, so it's Storm themed.
Oh, that's great!
But no, here's the kicker: there's a plot to it.
Oh,
it's Magneto is attacking, and you have to get into like these power enhancers that like they're like electrical gyros that are gonna power Storm up, so she has enough power to stop Magneto. And it's a teacup ride. You can just give me a teacup ride, Universal. I'll get in it.
Yeah, teacup rides are fun.
And when the ride ends, he's like, "Thank you for helping destroy the evil Magneto."
Oh, does the guy have to say it every time?
The guy has to say every single time, "Thank you for helping us destroy the evil Magneto."
That
have
poor...
have a wonderful time at Universal Studios Orlando, Florida.
That poor man. Alright, so that's one wave. So is it only 3 and that's the whole thing, or?
Yeah.
Alright, this is pretty easy so far. Granted, I'm only on 28 and I'm of 31.
And I assume that it's gonna ramp up.
Yeah, probably. I think there's supposed to be like a boss too you fight at the end. Yeah. Oh. Have to get this guy back up. Oh, hey, what up?
That is a shield.
Yes, that is.
A hefty
I
shield.
Hate shield enemies. I mean, I think they're good enemies, but I hate them.
Yeah, that's always been in video games. That's always been a trope that I'm not a fan of. Is that giant ass shield that you have.
I just don't like fighting them.
There's like a square inch of like exposed skin on their side.
Yeah, and you're just like, ugh. Okay, let's get these dudes. I don't know what you're doing. Is that guy just like...
I think he's AFK.
Ah, of course he is.
AFC?
Yeah, yeah. I guess AFC now. The term. People still say AFK though.
I think it's like a phrase.
Yeah, it's like a crossover.
It's like ATM would technically, you say ATM machine, even though it technically would be
yeah.
a Mac teller machine.
I never actually thought of that.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where like the acronym has taken on its own like definition away from what it stands for. PIN number would just be personal identification number.
No. Yeah.
Be ready. More enemies on the way.
Okay, well, Tennessee boys. Those Tennessee boys. Not holding their own. I'm gonna go hang over with this guy. B-Bio.
B-Bio.
What's that weird name?
Wait, what do you think? Do you think he lost connection, or do you think he's just being a dick?
If he lost connection, he would have actually.
He would have just
His character would have disappeared.
So he's just being a dick, or he's making a sandwich.
Maybe he's like, you know what's the perfect time to make a sandwich?
This
During Prison of Elders, during this wave-based combat arena, where other people are depending on me.
Don't revive Tennessee boy.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
when he was next to me, I revived him because I'm like, they could just shoot at him.
Oh, that's a good point.
So,
Use him as a decoy.
Yeah, I used him as a decoy. It's a pretty nice spot.
So you're almost done.
Yeah, let's see if, yeah.
This is third wave?
I assume this was a lot longer. Than I imagine Prison of Elders was like this more in-depth, like, you're gonna just go for it, but you know what? I'm okay with things shorter because it means I don't have to, like, alright, time to sit down.
Time to sit down and play
I guess when I think of, like, horde modes and, like, arena modes, I think of, like, you know, Firefight and Halo, or, you know, horde mode in Gears of War, where it's like, look, you're gonna be sitting here for a while. If you want to go places in this mode, you gotta sit down.
You're typically here till you die.
Yeah.
Me and Nate have always discussed that we're not really big fans of horde modes. There's just something about the hopelessness of the situation where we're just like, I'm not a big play until you die kind of guy.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Okay, so I beat a round. Oh, it's just a round.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So I do have. We can stop now probably if we've been going for a bit. Treasure key. So I have this thing called a treasure key. I don't know how it works, but apparently, like when you beat Prison of Elders,
is that gonna screw over your allies if you peace out?
It might. I'd feel a little bad if I did, but
I mean, Tennessee boys over there isn't.
Yeah, I'd feel bad about banning this guy though. You know what? I feel bad. We're gonna do it though. We're gonna. Sorry, buddy. We're gonna quit on out. So I think that pretty much does it for House of Wolves. I didn't show off Trials of Osiris, but I think people know what that is, and you don't want to watch me play multiplayer. I'm gonna suck at it. You know what? If you're really into Destiny, it's a pretty good expansion. It's worth playing, I think. I think at this point you already know if you're already really in Destiny, you have it. You know.
There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground. Either you're in or you're like.
I understood some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe one day Destiny will be the game that we all want, Ed.
Maybe. I mean, to be fair, look at Diablo 3. I remember when I bought Diablo 3 and
they turned that shit around.
And then I contacted Blizzard for a refund because I'm like, fuck this shit.
I think they can maybe one day turn this around.
Yeah. I mean, if any, like, Diablo 3 had a really, really negative reaction. Like, It was bad. And then it's considered a really good game now. Not just like, I guess they fixed some issues. Like, I haven't played Diablo 3 in a while, but all the reactions I've been hearing.
Yeah. The console version is really good.
Yeah, I hear, like, actively good things about it. So if they can turn that garbage around, I have no doubt in my mind that Destiny can one day be the game that we all wanted.
Yeah. But until then, House of Wolves.
Yeah. It's a thing.